In the neon-drenched streets of Seoul, I moved like a ghost, every nerve alight. My internal system pinged, a cold digital warning. Temporal distortion nearby. From the inky blackness of the alleyways, figures materialized. They were wrong. Warriors, yes, but fused with alien technology I hadn't seen since the year 3456. Their weapons hummed with an energy that had no place in 2025. "You shouldn't exist here," one of them hissed, its voice a grating mix of static and menace. My response was unspoken. My fists began to glow as the Immortal Weapon, a power I'd brought back with me, materialized in a cascade of light. I could feel the distortion they emanated, a sickening pull on the fabric of reality. They weren't just here for a random fight. They were drawn to me by something far greater than simple revenge. Suddenly, memories from my past life, my future life, crashed over me. The year 3456. The uncovering of a conspiracy so vast it manipulated timelines, a shadow organization pulling the strings of both humans and aliens. The pieces were slotting into place, and with the understanding came a surge of pure, unadulterated rage, a bloodlust I thought I'd left behind. "I won't be erased," I whispered, the words a vow against the uncaring cosmos. In the span of a single heartbeat, I moved. I was a phantom, a blur of motion, striking each enemy before they could even process my presence. Reality itself seemed to warp around me as waves of raw energy from my blows shattered concrete and tore through the air. But these weren't ordinary grunts. They adapted with terrifying speed. One of them pulled out a small spherical device. Instantly, gravity twisted, the world turning sideways as it tried to crush me, pinning me helplessly in midair. Before I could reorient, another unleashed a swarm of nanoblades, spinning cyclones of microscopic razors intent on shredding me to atoms. Just as they closed in, my system blared a new alert. New skill unlocked, temporal reflex, anticipate enemy adaptation. In my perception, time slowed to a crawl. The spinning blades became a graceful, lethal ballet. The gravitational pull became a predictable force I could navigate. I dodged, twisted, and countered in a symphony of deadly motion. Each swing of my immortal weapon was a brushstroke of light, tearing through their advanced defenses, leaving glowing trails in the night. Sparks of blood, both red and an alien ichor, danced with flashes of energy around me. Then a voice, not from them, but inside my head. It was the same one from before, the cloaked figure who'd been observing me. "Why fight what you cannot understand, Kai?" It echoed, a calm, chilling question in the midst of chaos. The condescension in its tone lit a fire in my gut. I gritted my teeth, rage boiling over. "I fight!" I roared, striking down the last of the warriors, "because I refuse to bow to fate!" As he fell, the temporal distortion around me intensified, shrieking my name as if reality itself was being torn asunder by my very existence. As the last enemy dissolved into light and dust, the sky above Seoul split open. A massive holographic projection bloomed across the clouds. Alien symbols, complex and shimmering, pulsed in the darkness. They formed a pattern, a network. My system worked furiously, decoding the data stream. "This network manipulates events across centuries," it reported. "You are the anomaly, are the—" And then I saw it. The memories, not just mine, but fragments pulled from the network itself. Massacres I had witnessed, betrayals that cut deeper than any blade, allies and friends I had lost, their faces flashing before my eyes. A sickening realization dawned on me. My regression, my journey back to 2025. It wasn't an accident. It was orchestrated. Someone, this shadow organization, wanted me here. They had placed me on this board in this specific time to either fail spectacularly or succeed against impossible odds. Every enemy I had faced, every challenge, every near-death experience, they were tests, each one a calculated piece of a grand, terrifying plan. The rage from before solidified into something harder, colder. It fused with a white-hot determination. I would not be their pawn. I would not be their variable. I would be the one to shatter their game. With a roar that ripped from my very soul, I launched myself into the night sky. The immortal weapon blazed, a beacon of defiance. I was going to dismantle their conspiracy piece by piece, starting now. But as I rose, a new figure emerged from the clouds above. It was a mech, a hybrid of flesh and machine, fused with multiple temporal anomalies. Its eyes glowed with a crimson, malevolent light. A predatory smirk crossed my face. Finally, someone who can truly challenge me. The mech descended, its sheer mass warping the air. It landed with the force of a meteor, and the ground cracked beneath its feet. Its weapons weren't conventional. They bent space itself, creating blades of pure void that sliced through steel and concrete as if they were water. This was a true test. I activated recreation mode, Temporal Strike. The system flooded my mind with blueprints from my 3456 arsenal. Echoes of future weapons materialized around me. A temporal lance, a singularity grenade launcher, a chronoton saber. Each swing of my weapons warped time, sending shockwaves that should have torn the mech apart. And they did. For a second. It regenerated instantly, the metal and flesh flowing back together, absorbing my attacks and reflecting the energy back at me. My system flashed a dire warning. Enemy adaptation, extreme, recommend maximum force. It was then I knew brute strength wasn't the answer. This wasn't a fight of power, but of wits. It required strategy, speed, and absolute unpredictability. With a roar that was more animal than human, I abandoned the direct assault. I phased, slipping between the seconds, and reappeared inside the mech's command center. The immortal weapon became an extension of my will, a scalpel of light slicing through core circuits, power conduits, and vital machinery. Sparks and raw temporal energy erupted in a dazzling, destructive cascade. The hybrid roared in agony, its systems faltering. For a moment, I thought I had it. But then, with a final, defiant pulse of energy, it vanished into thin air, leaving me standing in a crater of glowing light and smoking debris. It had escaped. My heart pounded, a frantic drum against my ribs. My system was still processing. Temporal network analysis, incomplete, unknown operative active. The escape wasn't a failure of the mech. It was a tactical retreat orchestrated by another. And right on cue, the cloaked figure appeared again, hovering above the crater, its voice echoing with that infuriating calm. You meddle in threads you cannot comprehend. My hand tightened around the hilt of the immortal weapon until my knuckles were white. The power thrummed, eager, hungry. I comprehend enough, I snarled, my voice raw. I comprehend that I will survive, and I will reclaim what's mine. With a sudden explosive burst of power, I tore through the city's night sky, a living comet hunting my true enemy. Glowing energy trailed behind me, a scar across the darkness. Buildings shook, alarms screamed, and the citizens below fled in terror, completely unaware of the war being waged between timelines right above their heads. The bloodlust, the rage, it burned hotter than ever. Fueling me, sharpening my senses. Each step, each fight, was unlocking more of my latent power, honing my strategy, and cementing my desire for vengeance. The cloaked figure vanished once more, its laughter a faint, mocking echo. But it didn't matter. It could run. It could hide across centuries. But I would find it. As I stood there, a silhouette against the chaos I'd wrought, I made a silent promise. I'll find you, and no one, not even time itself, will stand in my way. Thank you for watching this chapter of Temporal Conspiracy. This story is just getting started, and I can't wait to show you what happens next. If you're enjoying Kai's journey, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss a single moment of the action. Let me know in the comments what you think will happen next. Until the next timeline, stay safe.